Hello goddesses and gods. Today we are going to be doing a very detailed past life pick a card reading. I cannot find my crystals at the moment and I'm like, what do I have that has a lot of different colors and variety? I'm like, I know, makeup. So I have a different type of lip product on top of each pile. So we have this Nude Charlotte Tilbury lipstick. We have a red liquid lipstick by Jeffree Star, and we have a coral Fenty lip gloss. So I want you to focus your intuition, meditate on which pile you are drawn to the most, and then I will have timestamps in the description below. So first I'm going to be giving a couple oracle messages. Then we are going to go into the specifics of your past life. It could be what you did for a profession, a certain role you played. And then I will pull tarot to see which lessons you worked on in your past life and possibly which ones you are working on in this life. Let's get started. All right, my fellow nude lipstick lovers. Yes, that's I don't know. I love them all, but that's probably the pile I would have picked as well. So I have a couple of messages from the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards first. And this can kind of help you to determine if you pick the correct pile. If you don't feel that this guidance relates to you, then try picking a different pile. So first we have Cordelia. Go outside. It says you've been indoors too long. Go outside and get some fresh air. I'm like, Spirit, you know this reading is not for me, right? Because that sounds like some guidance that Spirit would give me, and they wouldn't be wrong. Let me read you the specifics. This comes with a really good guidebook. Okay. Message from Cordelia. Being cooped up is not the natural way for inhabitants of this exciting planet to live. Believe me, there's plenty to see and experience when you exit your four walls and roof. A daily venture outside will not only revive your spirit and soul, it will give you hope and faith in this planet's very existence and future. You'll see all the goodness that's in store within nature. The flowers ready to unfurl, the leaves that are sprouting, the birds that hop about, and even the wind that affectionately caresses you. So various meanings, it says your manifestation will appear in May and or when the weather is warmer. Spend time in nature. Recognize the need for balance in your life, for more rest and play. So you could either be someone who is introverted like myself and really puts a high value on their alone time, and especially in today's world, there's so many things that you don't really need to leave the house for much anymore. And you know, my family has brought up to me numerous times about going on disability for my health, and I'm like, if I didn't force myself to get up and go to work, I would probably never leave the house and have no social interaction, which would make me even more depressed. So I need to try and work as long as I can. Okay, and then we have Kali, endings and beginnings. The old must be released so that the new can enter. Alright, let me get Kali. Her message is, I sing praises to those whose hearts accept the universal order, which only appears to be chaotic and ever-changing. In actuality, everything is designed down to the smallest detail to be in perfect operation. Yes, that is very true. We spent extensive time planning. I mean, we have free will on Earth, yes, of course, but planning our major relationships, our parents, our race, where we're going to grow up, the lessons that we have to learn in this lifetime. And exactly like it says, even though it may seem chaotic, there is a reason behind everything. The dance of the universe is the happy one, with energy swirling and twirling in a never-ending celebration of life itself. Do not fear what appears to be a change or a loss. It's only the transitioning orbit of energy interplaying with you and your loved ones. Embrace it as evidence that you're alive. Embrace your deepest emotions as a signal of your true human existence. Various meanings. Your current changes are for the best. Keep your thoughts positive, as they're very powerful. What appears to be a loss is really the beginning of a happy new phase. let the past go, and it's time to move on. I'm a life path number 9, so learning to let go is definitely one of my major lessons. I don't know if this is the ending of a job, a relationship, a friendship, but trust that what's in the past is there for a reason. Okay, so let's get let's get pretty specific about who you were in your most recent past life. Spirit, who were pile 1 in their most recent past life? May I please have specifics of the past lives of pile 1? Oh wow. Imprisonment or slavery? I mean, I don't know what else I can say about that. That's pretty self-explanatory. One of the books a couple of the books I've read about past lives and our life planning, says we've all done, horrible things in our past because it's a certain, it's a lesson that our soul needs to go through. So you could have either committed a crime and been imprisoned, or you could have been a slave in a past life. And I'm sure both of those things were very traumatizing. It could have even possibly caused maybe a claustrophobia or a need to always feel in control in this lifetime. Communal living. Well, that kind of goes with imprisonment and slavery, doesn't it? Oh, wow, that makes a lot of sense. I have been doing research on North and South nodes of your astrological chart, and South node is lessons that were in the past that you need to overcome in this lifetime, and your North node is the lessons you need to focus on in this lifetime. And mine, it says my South node is in the 11th house. So in my past, I always lived in large communities, and I put others before myself. And this lifetime, with my North node in the 5th house, I need to focus on my individuality, my creativity, and not hiding my personality. So that could be something else that maybe you are working on in this lifetime as well. The arts. So maybe I've also talents and hobbies are something that older souls, when you're an older soul, you tend to have a lot of talents or hobbies, because over the lifetimes we've realized that they actually help us heal and to cope with certain life events. And maybe being artistic was a way for you to cope with these conditions of your past life. So I'm going to draw some tarot now to see what lessons were being worked on in your past life. I actually think I'm going to use, I have these tarot dice. I think I'm going to do that. So we have, I need to double check and make sure I say the right cards, because these symbols can be confusing. It looks like the 2 of Pentacles, but then there was a guy on it, so I don't know. The Page of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. I'm wondering if maybe in your past life you were so focused on accumulating wealth that it led you to commit some sort of criminal act, which could have ultimately led to your imprisonment. I'm also getting, because this says imprisonment or slavery, and, you know, which are, even though they have very similar qualities, they're two very different situations. So if it was slavery, you could have been working on learning that money was not the be-all, end-all. You found a way to appreciate what you had around you, even though you could see all this wealth in front of you, and maybe learning how to live without. Let me roll another one for the past life, and then I'm going to do current life lessons. That looks like the Ten of Wands. Yeah, your past life was rough. It was very, very rough. You were beaten and betrayed and dealt a very, very hard hand. You know, and I talked about being an introvert or kind of isolating yourself with this card. And like I said before, because of maybe always being around people in the communal living, that could be why. Okay, so current life lessons. Oh, the Six of Pentacles, and I'm going to see the King of Wands. So current life lessons, if it's the Six of Pentacles, then you are learning, you're a very generous person this lifetime. You may have, most likely have more wealth. I mean, it wouldn't take, you know, much if this was your past life in this lifetime. And because of your past lessons that money isn't everything, you are very generous with what you have. You share it with your loved ones. Giving to others, being of service to others, could be another lesson there as well. That's the Queen of Wands. Okay. She's a blonde hair, blue-eyed woman, center of attention, love of material possessions, assertive. So, even though you do have a love for material possessions, deep down you know from your past life that it's better to be shared than to keep it all to yourself. Let's do one more. Wow, another, we have the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, this is all about material possessions, these lessons you have. So with the Seven of Pentacles, the lesson you're learning in this lifetime is that wealth comes with hard work. And you are someone who's hardworking and dedicated and puts in the effort to make their wealth. And I think that very well could be because in your past life, maybe the criminal act or whatever was in a way trying to get rich quick. But you learned that that isn't the way to accumulate wealth. Let's get one more. Goddess card for guidance. So any advice for this lifetime? Quiet time. Take some quiet time alone to rest, meditate, and contemplate. Yeah, you had a very, very difficult past life, and hopefully this time is not as hard, and you are given the opportunity to have that alone and quiet time to meditate and to reflect. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed your past life reading. Pile number 2, you chose the bright red liquid lipstick. So that tells me that you are someone who is vibrant and confident and just a very unique, bright spirit. So I'm gonna, I have a couple of goddess oracle cards here, And this is in a way to see if you this pile is actually for you. So if this guidance or these messages resonate with you, then you know that you have picked the right pile. So first we have, oh, I don't know how to pronounce that. Sekhmet, be strong. You are stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. Let me get the book here. Message. See yourself as strong and victorious. Don't complain about anything. Don't blame anyone or any condition. You're the embodiment of strength, not victimhood. As you rise above the old tendencies and see yourself in the new light of beautiful feminine strength, your life will automatically shift in miraculous ways. You'll attract new opportunities, forms of abundance, and relationships that help you manifest your highest potential. Being strong means seeing yourself in the most favorable light you can imagine. Be real. Allow yourself to feel genuine emotions, but most of all, be strong. Various meanings. Don't underestimate yourself. Don't yield to pressure or temptation. Avoid complaining or indulging in negative thinking. So, in this lifetime, you could be someone who has been through many traumas, and you can doubt your strength sometimes just because there have been so many hard times, and when something else happens, you're like, I don't know if I'm strong enough to get through this. But you wouldn't have put those lessons in place for yourself if you weren't able to handle it. And I know we can all doubt ourselves at sometimes, but you are a very, very strong individual. And we have Yamanya, golden opportunity. Important doors are opening for you right now. Walk through them. Like the ocean, life moves in waves and tides. Timing is everything, so when an opportunity presents itself, you must dive in at the moment. Everything that you've done to prepare yourself will accompany you. Yet if you hesitate or procrastinate, another opportunity will surely come along just as the tides wash in and out continuously. Like the ocean, life is rich with variety and beauty. Enjoy experiencing its various rhythms and allow all doubts to be washed away. Meanings, don't hesitate. This is the right thing to do. Your prayers are being answered, and get ready for a big and happy change. Celebrate your success and know that you're qualified and ready for this new opportunity. So in another way, it's essentially saying don't doubt yourself. Alright, so now we're going to go into the specifics of your past life. And after pile 1, I don't think it could be much rougher than what they had to go through, but let's see. I mean, every life is hard in its own way. A monk or nun, okay? Maybe that could be why you doubt yourself, because you never really had a chance to assert yourself in your past life. Galactic. So that kind of makes sense. I am a starseed. You could be a starseed as well. You could be from a higher dimensional planet, and the current ascension that Earth is going through right now needed all the help it could get. Usually starseeds do come to Earth, and they are of service to humanity as well, which would make sense if you were a monk or a nun. Or you could have just been someone who was very religious. I want more specifics though. Spirit, tell me about the past life for pile number 2. ships. I was going to say, I don't see you working on a ship if you were a monk or a nun, but then a message came to mind. You could have maybe been one of the first settlers of America and come over here on a ship. I need more specifics. I'm going to draw one more past life card. Transportation. So you're obviously someone who traveled a lot. Maybe as part of your work with the church or whatever religion, it was necessary for you to travel. Okay, now we're going to get into past life lessons. And I'm actually going to use, I have tarot dice. We have the Four of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, and, ooh, my guess is going to be the Chariot, but I need to double check that. Yeah, it was the Chariot. Okay, so that does make sense if, especially if you were, you were involved in faith in some aspect in your past life. And you knew that you had a purpose for being on this earth, most likely because you were starseed. And we know, we have this strong feeling that we were meant to do something important. And the Chariot also makes sense with the transportation and ships. So as far as the Seven and the Four of Pentacles, so you were someone who worked very hard for your money. And it came in very slowly. So because of that, you clung on very tightly to it. Even though you were in a profession of service and giving, when it came to material possessions and wealth, possibly because it was so scarce, you did not share that with anyone. So learning to be more generous could have been a lesson, or just hard work, having a routine, having someone else tell you what to do could have been a lesson. So perhaps in this lifetime, you may be someone who feels lost without a routine. All right, let's see what lessons you're learning this lifetime. We have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups, which I relate to because according to, it's the tarot card that represents an INFJ, according to Myers-Briggs. So you're someone who's very intuitive, possibly psychic, very empathetic, emotional, intuitive, kind. And with the Ten of Pentacles, finances aren't a big issue for you in this lifetime like they were in the last time. This lifetime is more about your emotions and your intuition and dealing with your own thoughts. Because then we have the Seven of Cups. So like a typical INFJ or Queen of Cups, you're someone who can sometimes live in their head, not sometimes, but you can live in your head and have all these dreams for yourself, but actually putting them into action is a lot harder. I see the Ten of Pentacles in one of two ways. Either you were born into a wealthy family, or, because another thing with the Seven of Cups, you have all these dreams. One of the reasons it's so hard for you to take action is because you don't know which direction you're meant to go in. You know you have something special to offer the world, but you don't know which path to take yet, because there are multiple options. So I see maybe you finally finding your path, and that leading to wealth. But then we also have the Nine of Swords. So you could also be someone who battles depression and definitely not believing in themselves and feeling hopeless sometimes. Definitely in their head a lot. A very strong inner critic. So the lessons for this lifetime, I believe, are following through with your dreams, taking action on them, because there's, at least this is what I believe, there's nothing wrong with dreaming and having an active imagination and living in your head, because that's how my mind works, and I wouldn't be made this way if there was something wrong with it. But lessons that come along with that are not overly focusing on the negative and feeding into that depression. So I'm going to draw one more goddess guidance card, just a final piece of guidance. So we have, I don't know, Excel, medicine woman. You are a channel for divine healing power. Yes, you could even be in the medical field, because if you are the Queen of Cups, you are a natural caregiver and healer. And being so empathetic, you can be drawn to a helping profession. Let's see what the messages are for that. Commanding power is not the same as demanding it. Demanding comes from a childlike place akin to a tantrum, based upon the fear that it might be withheld. Commanding is based upon the sure and steady knowledge that you are part of the Great Spirit's grace and wisdom. You're a lightning rod that can conduct the power. Simply connect to the power through unyielding clarity of your thought process. Don't waver for a moment in your sure and steady decision to be a conduit of power that already resides within you. Connect to the even bigger source and allow it to amplify your natural power. In this way, you're a steady connector of the infinite from the infinite into the infinite. In other words, it's all spirit around you, through you, into whomever you're healing. So meanings are, you're a healer, you're being healed, the situation and your loved one is being healed, honor your healing knowledge and abilities, learn about healing, teach the healing arts, or start or continue your healing practice. So if you are having trouble deciding your path, anything that helps other people, I think, would fit you and help you transmit your positive, loving energy to the world. Alright, pile number 2, that is your past life reading. Okay, pile number 3. And I do apologize that the piles were backwards for you guys. So you chose the Coral Fenty lip gloss. So I see you as someone who is very cool, collected, kind of laid back, gets along with everybody. So first I have a couple of goddess guidance oracle cards. So first we have Isis, past life. Well, that's pretty fitting. The situation involves your past life memories. Well, yeah, that's what we're trying to find out. Let me get the guidebook here. Your roots upon this planet are strong and deep, and some of the roots have anchored you in past memories from faraway times. Those roots have anchored you so deeply, in fact, that you're paralyzed when it comes to moving forward. I've called your attention to this condition so that you may unearth and uproot past memories. Sometimes you bury those memories to shield yourself from psychic pain or embarrassment, so you won't remember those awkward moments when life tested you to the maximum. Reveal those lessons to yourself now, strong sorceress, and move forward with the confidence that you have sage wisdom behind you. So various meanings: get a past life regression to gain insights and answers, Ancient fears from a past life are surfacing right now. You've known the person you're inquiring about in a past life, or your current situation relates to a childhood issue. Okay, well then we definitely need to find out more about your past life, don't we? The second card is Solace. I'm probably not saying that right. And it says bodies of water. Spend time near water, such as a lake, river, or the ocean to recharge your batteries. So you may be a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or water itself actually releases negative emotions. So maybe just being around water, immersing yourself in it can help with some of those past life traumas and emotions. So now we're going to get into the specifics of your past life, which I'm very interested in now. Okay, we have wars and battles. Okay, wow. I can definitely see why you would want to try and shield yourself from some past life memories, especially if you were in a war. Okay, what more details can you tell me about the past life for pile number 3? Farm. So maybe you grew up in a small farm and all you really knew was to go to war. And that it would kind of make sense that it says to surround yourself with water if you were so used to being inland in a previous life. What details can you give me about the past life of pile number 3? The arts. Okay. I actually pulled that card for pile number 1, and I'll tell you guys the same thing that I told them. So the older your soul becomes and the more advanced it becomes, the more talents it acquires. And that's because we necessarily take on harder lessons the older the soul we are. And having a talent or a hobby is actually a way to deal with those emotions and to cope with traumatic events. So maybe you turn to some form of art in your past life to deal with all the atrocities you had seen and maybe been a part of. Let me pull in the card. Angels. So you definitely had and probably still do have quite a few angels around you. Especially if you were part of a war and survived it, you could have had a guardian angel with you. Alright, let's learn about the lessons you were working on in your past life. And I'm actually going to use tarot dice. Okay, we have the Devil. We have the Ten of Wands. And we have the Four of Pentacles. So the Ten of Wands tells me that you were put through hell in your past life. You carried so much emotional weight and physical weight, and it broke you. And because of that, you needed a way to deal with the emotions. So that's where the Devil came out. You could have drank, done drugs, been a sex addict, had some sort of addiction that numbed the pain that you couldn't heal. And then we also have the Four of Pentacles. So, growing up on a farm and being a soldier, I'm sure you didn't make much money. You didn't have much wealth. And because of how much you had been betrayed and how much you had been through and the evils you saw in the world and in other people, you clung on tightly to anything that was yours. So I think some lessons were, for you, learning how to cope with these emotions, which is very well where the arts could have come in, and also learning to be more generous and to share and not to have a lack mindset, that the universe will support you. All right, let's see what lessons you are working on in this lifetime. Oh, I didn't mean for that many. We have the Five of Cups, the Two of Cups, I'm going to say the Fool. I need to double check on that one. They have these weird symbols that I can't always decipher. I'm going to say the Sun, but I don't know. The Wheel of Fortune. Karma, fate, chance, circumstance. So, the Two of Cups tells me that it's very possible you are going to have a twin flame in this lifetime, or some sort of very strong connection. It could be a friendship, most likely a romantic relationship, but not necessarily. And I think one of your main lessons this lifetime is about building relationships, because in your past lifetime you weren't really building relationships, were you? You were kind of out in the middle of nowhere killing people, trying to stay alive. I also think another issue or lesson that you're working on in this lifetime is maybe to be a little bit more responsible. And I say that because if you were in the military, you had someone telling you when to wake up, when to eat, when to do this. So if you don't have a strict routine in this lifetime, it can be hard to motivate you. Or you may have a tendency of doing things without really thinking them through first, not thinking about the consequences of your actions. But now with the Wheel of Fortune, that tells me that you're due for some good luck. Or it also tells me that you are still balancing some karma from a past life in this lifetime. Alright, I'm going to draw one more Goddess Guidance card just for some ending guidance. Oh, wow. Alright, we have Saraswati, and it's the arts. Express yourself through creative activities. And obviously, if you're still dealing with these past life memories, like I said before, that is a very good way to help with that and to help get through things. You're a limitless being. If it seems that you have time, money, or other restrictions, it's simply because your mind is focused upon the material world. You can unlimit yourself by lifting the cloak of the material world from your focus. Music is essential for the expression of non-material ideals and energies. Music colors our surroundings with emanations from the highest vibrational fields. It allows us to escape all limitations in our thinking and very existence. Surround yourself in music and allow it to stimulate your own creative thinking and to spark new ideas. Flow with the music and give yourself permission to investigate and experiment with putting your creative ideas into action. So various meanings are play music, sing, dance, draw, paint, write, or do something creative. Study or change to a career that gives you creative freedom. Take a creative class. Invest in an artistic hobby. Keep a journal of your creative ideas. And journaling is also a good way to process feelings. I don't do it as much as I would like, but I know that it does help. And when I do start journaling, things will come up that I have repressed for so long they weren't even in my conscious frame of awareness. But writing, the physical act of writing, occupies the left side of your brain and allows your right side, which is the creative side, and also your subconscious to come forward. All right, I hope you enjoyed that reading. All three piles, you all had very difficult lives. I was hoping it would say you guys were like rich celebrities or something in a past life, but that's not what came through. But despite that, I hope you enjoyed the reading. I will see you guys later.